So my name is Donald Morrison. I'm 47 years old and I've been in the police now for 17 years. I spent 4 years in Kirkwall, did 2 years in the Falkland Islands as a police officer. I was in Lochinver for just under 10 years, and for the last 2.5 years I've been in Lochinver in the northwest tip of Sutherland. Yeah, the scenery here is outstanding. Every day I tour about in the van and think, wow, I am so lucky to be in a place like this. I live in a very strong community. Lochinver, Ascent, the area I cover is quite significant. It's probably about 100 square miles. I could be covering all the way from Torridon, all the way north, Gairloch, Ullapool, Lochinver, Ascent, Riconich, all the way up to Loch Erible, which is on the way to Tongue. That is a massive area on my own. One cop, one vehicle, and you're it. So if there are 3 calls, you really have to prioritise, work out where you're going to be, who needs you first, and then you're going to be potentially driving 2.5 hours to get to the next call. It's probably true to say that the majority of crimes that are committed here are committed by people from out with the area, but it's a mixture. You do have the same people who are always on the fringes of anything that's going on, and you can be fairly confident once something happens, you can whittle it down to a list of half a dozen people who your attention will be drawn to. But very often, especially over the summer months, we have a huge influx of tourists. That creates a lot of problems and it creates a lot of crimes. Where there's people, there's crime. Nothing's changed, human nature is still the same. You get to know your community, and that's a really good thing. If you're out and about, you're looking for information regarding something that's happened, people will tell you, but you have to build up that trust. People are kind in a place like this. They know that I'm here on my own. They will turn up at the door, even if it's just for a blether, and just have a chat with you. I really like that. I don't want a shut door at my station. Winters are tough, and my last winter here we had a considerable amount of snow, and that was challenging for us as a police force because we had 3 roads closed into Lochinver, which meant that Lochinver was actually shut off to the public. We have some serious road accidents, and very often it'll be one cop on their own turn up at this serious road accident. You literally stand there, you take a good deep breath and you're like, where do I start? Because it's carnage and it's just you, and that can be really challenging. You speak to then whoever the sergeant is on. My sergeant is in Ullapool, and my next sergeant, if my sergeant Ullapool is not on, is in Dingwall. Dingwall's 100 miles from Lochinver. They are not going to arrive within the hour, guaranteed. So whatever actions need to be done, have to be done by you. We have bosses here who are 100% behind any decisions we make because they know the challenges. The divisional commander came to work here. He drove around all the stations in the northwest. And for us, that was so good because it meant he actually has an understanding of how long it takes to go from Gairloch to Lochinver or Gairloch to Loch Erible, because very often that's where the nearest cop will be. And he saw that for himself and he's like, okay, I understand this. We are in Police Scotland, like every other police force in the UK and probably throughout the world, we are intelligence-led. So we are dependent on people coming to us to give us information. And in a small place like this, if you police it in a very hard manner and there's no discretion, people will not speak to you. They will see you as the enemy. You're maybe 2 hours away from the closest help. When you maybe encounter a crime, you will deal with it with discretion if it's on a minor end of the scale. We have very good relationships with the doctors, so the GPs, all local businesses, all the local pubs. We're doing licensed premises checks in there regularly, and these people begin to trust you and they give you information, and that's really important. So one of the good things about being here is obviously you can get out and about. There are mountains, there are lochs. I enjoy hill walking. I've been up Sutherland. I challenged myself and pushed myself up to the top there with the aid of a friend. That is on my doorstep. I'm a member of the Ascent Fishing Club, and I pay the priceless sum of £5 a year because I live in the area to do that. You know, you wouldn't get that anywhere else, and that helps my mental well-being. You know, I absolutely love it. I wouldn't change this for all the tea in China. I would stay here as long as I possibly can until they push me out, because it's such a good quality of life to have, and I'm so lucky.